Rise and shine. Welcome on, family. Today, we're going to be doing part 1 of the emotional terrorizer. Hopefully, you guys have came ready to listen and learn and contribute to the actual conversation, not criticize me for teaching the conversation, because this is about men and women alike, okay? The emotional terrorizer has no gender. They have behaviors. So we need to learn the behaviors of an emotional terrorizer so we can learn who are emotional terrorizers. And that could be the person you see in the mirror every day. So this is going to be really good. I need you guys to contribute. Tell me exactly what you're thinking. Try and stick to the points that we are talking about. Show me that you are intelligent today. Show me that you want to grow in your life by responding adequately like an adult. Okay, family? So today we're talking about the emotional terrorizer. I told you guys I would start teaching that this week. So today is 10 signs that you or someone that you're with is an emotional terrorizer, okay? Now, an emotional terrorizer, family, is someone who reacts from emotion, okay? They either react from an emotional place with no regard for how that may affect the people around them, the moment, their life, or they will speak in a way that challenges you emotionally to bring out the worst in you while you guys are trying to have a build or a conversation, okay? Yeah, I rap a little bit, I dabble. But guys, we're going to get right into this, okay? Now, if you guys have never met an emotional terrorist, I'm going to try to give you guys these 10 signs real quick so this video isn't too long and there's not a lot of idle conversation. We can get in and get out. All right, family? So the first sign that someone is an emotional terrorizer is, actually, I'll just ask questions. The first sign, do you use your emotions to justify your behavior? Do you use your emotions to justify your behavior? Do you say things like, I was just having a bad day. I wasn't feeling good. I was hungry. I was already frustrated. I was mad. I was hurt. What this does, family, is it denies accountability for your actions because we all have emotions. So what that indicates to the person that you just said or done something to that hurt is that when they're upset, they'll act this way. And that's not good because it says that when you're upset, I can expect this behavior. When you say, well, I did it because I was mad, then what can we expect from you when you're angry? Instead, just say, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. In the future, I will be better. This means that even when you feel these negative emotions, you don't react negatively. Be angry, yet sin not. Don't do a bunch of things that ruin your life or how your partner sees you or sees themselves. Right? And a lot of times we use these emotions to justify what we're doing or saying, not realizing that your partner is still feeling the effects of what you said. And you're thinking, well, I did apologize. Like, ladies, has your man ever said something to you that hurt you because he was upset? And then he said, I'm sorry, I was bad, baby. And it didn't go away because you thought about what this man said. And number one, you're thinking, how could he even say that to me? Did he mean it? Do you understand, family? Because those things that you say in the moment can carry a long way and affect how your partner sees themselves and affect how they perform for you. You understand? All right, so that's one. Do you use your emotions to justify your behaviors? Okay. Robert says, I used to, but thinking more now. My friend does. Right. And you got to listen. What happens is when you do that, Robert, you say, we call it blacking out or blanking out. And what happens is consequences are still going to come. It doesn't matter if you were upset. So you got to realize that, I can't sit here and bury myself by saying and doing things that are below my standard just because I'm upset. Because the consequences I still have to deal with. I still don't want a broken partner. So it's probably not best that I say this thing out of anger right now, because if I break my partner, they're probably not going to be able to perform. Take your child, for instance. If you're speaking negative into them, they're not going to be able to run as fast, jump as high, be as capable, because your words are like spells, family. They'll break a person down. And when you go into a relationship, you become each other's nurturers and builders. So if you're speaking death into the person that is your partner, how they see themselves is definitely going to bleed into how they treat you and how they perform in the relationship. Do you understand? So that's one. Part 2. Here's the second one. Do you hold grudges or punish by withholding affection? Do you hold grudges? Let's say you're upset because someone said something that hurt you, did something that offended you, and they say, I'm truly sorry. Let's say they are accountable for it. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Let's say you understand they're sorry, but you're still mad. And because you're still mad, you believe this gives you a right to walk around puffing and huffing because you're still angry. Don't do that, family. You can't hold a person hostage to your emotions until you get over it. This may not be linked to what they did to you. It could be linked to your ability to let energy go, negative energy go. So if someone hurts you, family, and let's say they are accountable to it. Now, if they're not accountable to it, you can still understand why you would feel this way. But if they are accountable to it, family, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. They don't blame nobody. They don't do none of that. They just accept the responsibility for it. What you have to do is, if you are still angry in that moment, please go meditate. Please go find it within yourself to release that energy, because it's not okay to keep holding that person hostage because you're still mad. This can carry on for weeks. I've seen couples not even speak to each other for weeks over something somebody said, and they'll sit here and just see who can go the longest without interacting and loving on each other. That's a hellish way to have your relationships. It's not mature. We need to be able to move past things and get back to building, get back to nurturing, because you don't want your children seeing y'all go days and days without interacting. They'll only replicate this in their relationships, family. So you got to think, every day that you live your life, you are leaving an inheritance to your children. Every single day, through your behavior, you understand? Through how you live in front of your children. And they are going to duplicate your behaviors. This is going to be indicative of how far their marriages go. And it's through watching you as their mother and father perform. Do you understand? So when your person says, I'm genuinely sorry for what I did, you got to let that go. You got to grow from it. You can't hold that. Now you won't kiss them. Now you won't sleep with them, because it's like, yo, I'm mad at you. And you feel justified in doing that. But I'm telling you, that's not the way to be. That's not the way to be, family. Try your best to get over that so you can get back to love, get back to harmony. Because once you're still angry or harping over what a person just did or said when they've been accountable, you're living in the past. You're no longer living in the now and creating the future. You're sitting here arguing about what somebody already was accountable for. Look, I said I was wrong. I said I was sorry. I said I wouldn't do it anymore. But because of your emotions, you want to still make that person feel bad for what they did. And you withholding affection makes them feel even worse. It's a way to, and you may not be doing this to do that. It could be that you really are hurting. But for your partner, all it does is dump more guilt and shame onto them, because they're watching how you respond from that. So the way you behave is how wrong they're going to feel. If you act like it's the worst thing in the world that was ever said or done to you, they're going to feel like they just did the worst thing in the world to you. This is why a lot of people will just leave relationships, because they feel so shamed. They feel like, yo, I'm no good. I feel I'm a piece of shit because this person makes me feel like that, by how they act to everything I do. They act like it's the worst thing in the world. So I feel like the worst thing in the world. Okay, that's 2. 3 is, do you have a habit of going to bed angry? You know how they say, don't let the sun go down on your wrath? Do you have a habit of going to bed angry? This can indicate that you don't have a problem with going to sleep while you guys are mad at each other. And that's not healthy. Typically, how you go to sleep is how you wake up. Have the conversation before you lay it down, family. Your sleep is supposed to be about manifesting your dreams and the better part of yourself, not about harboring anger and waking up even madder because you done thought about what the person said because y'all didn't talk. If you're used to going to bed angry, this means you're used to making your person feel like they're on the outside until tomorrow. It's punishing another adult. And I'm going to tell you what can happen. Just because you want to go to sleep tonight and say, I ain't talking to you, sir, go sleep on the couch. It doesn't mean that he'll let that happen. It doesn't mean that he'll let you control him or punish him. He could just say, okay, and I'm going to leave the house and go cheat. It sucks. Guys, just because you want to neglect this woman, she could say, I'm not waiting on you to love me. I'll go get it somewhere else. You have to understand it's another person you're dealing with. You can't punish them. You got to keep on being masculine or feminine. Fellas, never stop building. Ladies, never stop nurturing. That, because you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship. This is not a fly-by-night type thing that you can just kick somebody to the side because you're mad. This is not dating. This is a marriage. Okay, family? Now, that's 3. 4, do you damage things when you are angry and hurt? Do you damage things whenever you are angry and or hurt? Whenever you are feeling negative emotions? Is it typical for you to go break something? You ever see like, there's a place where you can go pay to just destroy things. Have you guys saw this? Take all of your anger and just beat stuff up and destroy, and it's supposed to make you feel better. Place makes millions of dollars. People feel like they do walk out of there feeling better. They did something with the negative energy, because there's a lot of energy built up in these type people who don't know how to regulate their energy. But I would say that's not a healthy way of getting rid of negative energy. You understand? Destroying things does not actually heal you. They don't. Sometimes when you are hurting on the inside, you want to see destruction. That does not make it okay, family. That should give you more of an indication that you are an emotional terrorizer. If you don't typically want to destroy things, then you need to understand that you are a totally different person when you are upset and angry. So you would be an emotional terrorizer, meaning that you're capable of destruction when you're hurt. When you're not, you could be a good person. You understand? But whenever you're mad and angry, you can't. You have to be a different person. And I'm saying we got to be better than that, to where we don't allow our emotions to control us. Okay? Now, that's do you do damage things whenever you're angry and hurt? Now let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He goes 5. Is it normal for you to end a relationship when you are angry or enraged? Is that a go-to move for you? That whenever you get frustrated, you guys cannot find a conclusion, that you just say, well, bump it. It's over then. Well, F it. Forget it then. I don't want the relationship no more. And you're angry and enraged. It takes for you to be angry and enraged. Now, you can be good with your partner. You can have no real issue with your partner. That one argument, though, you not getting your way, it not going the way you want, can cause you to end the relationship in that moment. Not that it's been a bad relationship. So if you were calm, if you weren't upset, you would not walk up to that person in your right mind and say, I no longer want to be with you. It's not working out. In your conscious mind, you wouldn't do that. But in your angry mind, it's F you, it's over. I never want to see you again. Get out. Get out. I hate you. See, what I would encourage people to do is this. Learn to build things back up, especially when you yourself is the one who destroyed it. Go buy a plant, okay? Start watering a plant. You will notice if you neglect that plant, don't put it in front of the window, it will begin to wilt. What we do in relationships is we throw the plant out the window, because plants are a dime a dozen. There's so many people out there, we don't have to fix what we broke on them. If they can't get over it, F them, right? So we chuck them to the side and go get another partner. What this does is it hurts your ability to build and create with someone, your ability to work with someone, because all you've done was ditched everybody who didn't think like you or disagreed with you. So the relationship don't actually have to be bad, but you're going to take that into the relationship because that's typical for you, right? So even though you wouldn't end the relationship, in your right mind, now that you're mad, it's over. Get out. And now when you calm down, I want you back. I want you back. So it's this thing when you want them back. Now think about everything that you said to them. I hate you. You suck. You ain't no good. You're a deadbeat. You're a loser. You're ugly. Your ass flat. Your coochie loose. All these evil things y'all say to each other when y'all mad at each other. Just because you're not mad now don't mean they forget about that stuff, family. Just because you're not angry now, when fellas, you get mad at this woman and it's because she's not seeing things your way at that moment, you end the relationship. Well, there goes her security. Now, when you ask her to come back, she may because she loves you, but it may be difficult for her to invest like she was because she feels like the relationship could just end at any moment. So now you're saying, damn, she ain't the same. Shorty don't really put in like she used to, because now she knows that there is no security, that you won't work with her if y'all have a disagreement, that you'll just be like, yo, get out. Do you understand? That's her security. Ladies, same way. If you say, man, why ain't he invested no more? Because he doesn't feel like you're a lifelong partner anymore. He doesn't feel like that. He feels like you don't really love him enough to want to work with him whenever y'all have disagreements, that you can just replace him. And that man is not going to perform the same when he feels that way. I'm telling y'all, you're creating the partner that you have, wondering why they acting this way. People are not going to really perform when you're treating them when you're doing them a certain way, treating them a certain way. Anyway, family, that's 5. You end in a relationship just because you're angry or enraged. There's no certainty that you're serious about that. That emotion will pass. And when that emotion passes, now you're lonely and wanting that person back. And it just creates a horrible relationship. Regardless of how much you want to say it's over, First thing you should do is just say, you know what, can we just have some time to talk and to separate and let us think? Because I don't want to say something that would be harmful to you or our relationship. You see what I'm saying, family? Think smarter. That's a human being you're dealing with, just like you're one. You don't want them hurting you. Don't hurt them. Okay, family? Let's see here. Do you act hurt or injured to get sympathy? Men will do this. They'll act like what that woman said, hurt him to his core so she'll feel bad and he can gain control or leverage of that moment, right? He'll act like what she said infuriated him so badly, and it probably wasn't nothing he cared about. Ladies will do the same thing. Well, you said this and it hurt. And now he has to try and make, I guess, kind of make excuses for it. You know, I'm upset. I got to leave the room. No, don't leave. As soon as you move her, she acts like you hurt her. Right? As soon as you move him, don't put your hands on me now. But you're standing in the way of the door, sir. Move so I can leave. Let me leave. There shouldn't have to be any physical contact for me to leave this room. Get out of the way of the door. Do you guys understand? Oh, you hurt me, you hurt me, you hurt me. It's a way to create emotional leverage. You know you're not hurt. And you've seen this with children, family. The parent about to whoop you or have a conversation with you that you don't want to have because you know you're wrong. Instantly the tears start in because you want your parents to lighten up on the punishment. You want them to take it easy. You want them to feel sympathy for you. You want to control that moment. So if they swing and miss, you're going to act like it hit you and hurt. If they swing and hit you and it didn't hurt, you're going to act like it, you're going to... I'm a little under the weather, forgive me. I wanted to go ahead and get this video done, though. This is not about my brother nor sister-in-law, family. A lot of you guys won't be able to hear this message and grow because you're still so focused into what has been going on with my brother and sister-in-law. I've been doing these type of talks forever, family. Forever. So try and follow and listen to what I'm saying without applying it to anyone. Men or women can be emotional terrorists, all right? So acting hurt to get sympathy, acting injured to get sympathy, okay? What you said really hurt me. What you did really hurt me, to control the moment, not to have a rational conversation. Do you understand? I have 2 wives for those of you asking. Focus, family. Focus. It's not about me. Okay. 6 or 7. This is 7, family. Let's see. Make sure that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 7. Do you do or say things to get an emotional reaction during a conversation? Do you do or say things with the intention to get an emotional reaction during the conversation? Say they're asking you regular questions and the things you're saying are to actually disturb this person internally because you've learned them. You know exactly how they don't like being talked to. You know exactly what will offend them. And you'll do that because you don't want to have the conversation. And as soon as they show that they're upset about what you said, now that's your excuse to exit the conversation because they either showed some frustration, raised their voice, sounded frustrated, you didn't like their tone, and it's a whole bunch of bullshit just to avoid conversations. You can ask a few questions, and now all of a sudden your questions make them become overly aggressive when you didn't say anything crazy. Okay? When you're talking to someone, it's supposed to feel like y'all both trying to work to the end of the conversation and get mediation or understanding for both. That's what the conversation should be about, trying to understand each other, not trying to shame and make each other feel guilty or bad. When that conversation is no longer working to get to a functioning end, but instead it is to wake up or create negative emotions inside somebody, you're talking to a terrorizer. This person has no genuine reason, or they're not being genuine about talking to you and getting to an actual logic. They're not trying to do that. They're arguing for their emotions, and their emotions may not even mean a means to an end on that. It could be, I don't feel like talking about it. Why are you bothering me? I don't want to have a conversation. It may not mean nothing about they don't even agree with where it's going. It could still just be whatever they're feeling at that moment gives them a right to behave like that. And you're sitting here like, yo, I'm just trying to talk to you. And they'll make you feel like you just trying to talk to them is something evil. And you're sitting here and have to take in what they're saying. And yo, it's confusing because you know you didn't say anything to this person. Do you understand, family? So when you're talking to the person, and they keep saying things that you know bring negative emotions out of you or make you feel negative emotions, don't allow them to control you. Don't allow an emotional terrorizer to bring you out of frame to where you're going back and forth with them over emotional things. So when you stop talking about what you need to talk about to tell them how much they're hurting you, that's exactly what an emotional terrorizer wants. So they can back out of it, say they didn't say it, say they said something else and fuck with your reality. Now you're talking about that instead of what you wanted to talk about. And you're not actually getting to the end. Now you're arguing about something that ain't even about what you're talking about. Now you're in the past. Now you're over here and over there and everywhere because the emotional terrorizer simply doesn't want to have a conversation. They won't say that. They'll do everything in the world to make you pissed off, to make you feel like it's your fault. And then they'll storm off. It's unreal, family. Now, a lot of us do this in our everyday relationships, not realizing that we're making it so difficult for our person to talk with us and let them know how they feel. Okay? Somebody said, is that a narcissist? It's not even about that today. It's more about if you don't like how you're being treated, if the person that you're dealing with is saying that you're doing these things, change that. We don't care what title you get called. It's not about shaming you. It's about having healthy homes, y'all. Y'all so quick to call somebody a narcissist. It's your husband. It's your wife. It's a person. It's a human being. Remember that first before y'all want to get on into what you calling somebody. Because what's more important is that you either like what they're doing to you, if you like how they're treating you or not. The name calling stuff got to stop. Let's see here. 8. Do you change past events to avoid taking accountability for your actions? I didn't just say that. I didn't say that. I said something else. That's not what happened. I never said that. That is not the way that went. Soon as a person tries to bring up your past behavior, not to insult you, but to say this behavior has been going on for a while, when they bring it up, you say that didn't happen like that. Even when they know it did. So you're lying right to their face. You can't convince them that it didn't happen. You understand? And so now they're looking at you like a bold-faced liar because they're talking to you about something they were there for. And you're trying to convince the world that you're a good person, but the person you're lying to is in the house with you. That's the one that's going to want the divorce. Y'all trying to convince the world that y'all good people. The person that's going to want to be divorced from you is not those people. It's the person who in the house with you who literally is getting treated a certain way by you. Not what you're telling people you're doing. Do you guys understand? Let's say if I'm out here telling people I treat my wives good, I provide for them, I do all this for them. But then all of a sudden they're telling, but I actually don't do that. What if I don't do none of that? I talk down to them, I treat them bad. I don't provide. I don't do any of those things. My life, my marriage ain't gonna look good. It don't matter what I tell people. My wives are gonna be subject to negative treatment. Do you understand? And I can't expect them to believe my lies because they in the house with me. So if I say, y'all, this is what happened and we know it didn't happen, then now they're going to start seeing me as a liar. Don't change the past events. Be accountable to them, family. It doesn't do anything but make you a better person. The fact that you can be accountable shows that you are a better person. Make being the best version of yourself your newest religion. Do that. Because if you do that, you'll constantly be looking for ways to be better, which means you'll look for accountability. When you don't accept accountability, you forsake that opportunity to be better. Your brother said he loved you, Kevin. I love my brother too. I love you too, bro. Okay, family. So here's 8. Do you overtalk with the intention of preventing someone from speaking or hearing? When someone is talking to you and the thing that they're saying is getting to a good point, do you interrupt because you don't want them to say it? Like they're trying to talk to you, but you're constantly over-talking them. You want to allow them to speak. Their words are not going to kill you. Their words ain't killing you. Allow them to speak, and then with tact, with poise, with self-respect and dignity, respond back. Why over-talk? It breaks the conversation down. Many of your marriages ain't even that messed up. It's your conversations that's messed up. And because the conversations be so bad because people don't work on how they communicate, they are in the whole relationship just because of how they argue. They can be great for each other in life. But as soon as y'all upset, if y'all both emotional terrorists, I swear to God, the relationship is going to be at risk of ending every time y'all have a serious conversation. It doesn't matter how good everything is going. Y'all could have just bought a new house. Y'all could have just bought a new car. Could have just got remarried. Everything could be going great. Have an argument that don't go your way. Watch what happens. And to the partners to the people who go through this, their relationship feels very fickle. It's not stable at all. Do you understand? Because, by the next argument, you're already hanging on by a thread, regardless of how good your relationship is. You're still hanging on by a thread because emotionally, both of you are immature. Ten. Do you use fear to gain control of the conversation or moment? Do you use fear, to gain control of the conversation or the moment? Now, men, we have to be careful about this one. Say you look at her. What you say? This can make her feel like you're going to harm her. That serious type look that you give her could be very controlling. And it could change the way she's speaking to you and kind of keep her from really expressing to you how she feels, because she may think that you're about to snap because of that look on your face. Okay? When you got that look on your face, that's a scary face to women and I try to tell men and my sons, don't do that. That's a way to break the conversation down and to control her. Don't do that. Okay? Now, ladies, same thing now. If you are crying at every little thing he says, if you are acting like he's abusing you, he'll get afraid of you because he don't want you to go saying that. Like, so if you tell him something about himself that sounds way far out there and he hears you say that, like this man is going to be afraid because he's like, yo, this is how you see me. And you're going to go like this. Like, I promise you guys, fear only stops life. It does not stop death. Okay. So when you tell somebody, when you make someone feel fear for you, regardless of how that looks, it makes them not want to be with you. So if you make a woman feel fearful that one day you could hit her or slap her upside the head or do something crazy to her because you're mad, you see what I'm saying? This will make her feel highly uncomfortable around you because it says that violence is an option. And if you make him feel like that you would try to ruin his name, okay, that you would try to hurt his reputation, that you would try to put him in jail, it scares him because it makes him feel like violence is an option. Doing that is an option for you. So when you guys are in these conversations, family, when you guys are having these disagreements, please don't use fear to try and control your spouse. Don't do that. Okay? Now, I wanted to put that out there. This is part one. Okay, I have so many different points to make, but I want to break this down into a couple of part series. So you guys dive into this video, listen to what I said, see if you can see yourself in it, see if you know someone that behaves this way. And if next time that you're trying to talk with someone and have a serious conversation with them, now you have a better indication to know if someone is emotionally terrorizing you, okay? Or if they're actually trying to have a serious conversation with you and find what works for both of you guys. Not something that makes another person feel guilty, shameful, less about themselves, ugly, not valuable, anything like that. Do you understand? So, family, be encouraged. Know that you all have the ability to grow and change, but we have to stop using these types of tactics whenever we're in a conversation or whenever we're in a relationship with our spouses. It definitely breaks down the relationship, and I promise you, you cannot look to have a long, healthy relationship where your children go off and be healthy and functioning. You cannot have that if you're doing these things, because even if your children go off and create relationships, they'll likely do exactly what they've seen you do, which is emotionally terrorize. So if you do this, I'm not trying to shame you. This is an opportunity for you to stop doing that. Okay? I would encourage you guys, please learn how to meditate. Please learn how to get rid of negative energy. Okay? Focus on positive things. This is a real skill set that can help all of us going forward. Try to focus on the positive about your partner. Uplift them. Okay, so fellas, always be thinking about building your wife. So even if she does something that's not becoming, you build. Hey, you're better than that. You must be going through something because this is not typical of you. These types of things help a person say, okay, at least they know I'm not like that. instead of when you go to them, act like that they're just a bad person when you're talking to them. And ladies, nurturing is speaking life into your partner and summoning the best out of him. Not speaking it all the time like you see it. Sometimes you see it actually in an effed up way. You don't see it as it is. So if you judge him how you see it, you could mess up how he sees himself and how he sees the relationship. So it's better to call out the greatness in your man. And I know a lot of you guys say, well, I don't want to do that. Well, then you should probably ask yourself if you're worthy of marriage. Because this ain't no like dating stuff. Okay, if you dating somebody and you don't like them, then talk shit if that's what you want to do. But if you married to somebody and you got to live in the same house, lay down in the same bed with them, sleep with them, exchange fluids with each other, then why won't you just take the extra mile, go the extra mile to say it in a productive way? Why would you dump poison, speak poison, speak death into a person that you sleeping with? You're going to say all this negative shit to them. Then you're going to sleep with them and get all that negative energy back into you. So you're sleeping with a broken person because you're keeping them broken by talking shit to them. But you want a healthy child, though. But the mother of the children ain't healthy because you keep her broken down. But you want a healthy child. But the father of the children ain't healthy because you keep him broken down. But you want healthy children. Speak life, okay, family? Men, build your wives. Make her feel secure. Women, nurture your husband. Make him feel peace. I don't see why we won't try and work. Like when you're having a conversation with your man, ladies, be thinking like this. I'm a nurturer. Let me nurture. Let me uplift. Let me summon the best out of him. Because we are complex. We have greatness in us and we sure enough have destruction. What do you want from that person? Because if you want negative from that person, then sure, keep calling that negative stuff out. Fellas, when you're talking to your wife, be thinking, I'm a builder. Let me build her up. Let me make her feel secure. Secure. So my next statement, if it does not make her feel secure, makes her feel insecure, my next statement, if it breaks her down, tears her down, and doesn't build her up, then I'm not being very masculine here. I may be being an emotional terrorizer just because I'm mad. And ladies, if the next thing you're saying to him is not nurturing and uplifting and bringing the best out of him, you may actually be destroying him right now in this moment. And that's your husband or wife or children's father or mother. That's the person you sleep with. That's the person that you're in a holy matrimony with. Family, I hope you guys got something from this video. Stay tuned to tomorrow for part 2, okay? I love you all. Be the evolution. Be the change that you want to see. No candle loses its flame from lighting another. And if you were to ever find yourself in the middle of chaos, it is in that chaos that you have found yourself. Peace, family.